Angry Black Man, aka ABM, aka you don't want to make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
you don't want to make me say sentences because I stutter.
Sorry, aka you don't want to make me mad. Hey, stop. Okay. Okay.
Yo, Luke Cage, season 2C. We doing it for the G's. You about to get your outlook bleaked. Man, what the business is. Hey, look at this dude, man. This dude got a fly swatter, man. We the Bleeks or the Black Geeks. I'm known as CapnVillainBLK. You can call me Captain, you can call me Villain, but don't just call me Black, aka Black Piano Keys. And I'm here with my partner.
All right, it's ABM, aka Angry Black Man, aka you won't like me when I'm angry, aka I'm Blackity Black.
How many AKAs you got, man? Dude just got unlimited AKAs. So we had originally done what we thought how the season was gonna be. We did see the first episode. Was season 1 better or was season 2 better, and why do you think? Which one was better?
I'm gonna say for me personally, because I can only speak for myself, but I thought season 2 was a lot better. Well, I won't say it was like, you know, crazy better, but to me it was a little bit better. I thought the villains, I thought they did a good job with their story arc with the villains. The villains were better this season than last season. That was one of the reasons I liked it. And just the music, the whole vibe about it was a lot better. I mean, Luke Cage actually had to, you know, learn how to fight a little better. He just couldn't be a brawler because he had a guy that was a little bit more formidable. And I thought one of the villains that shined was Mariah. I thought her story arc was way better than last season. And then we didn't have that. I didn't feel like we had a drop off like we had the season before when you lost Cottonmouth and then you went into the worst villain ever.
I'm the same way, man. I thought season 2 was way better. I would say way better because season 1, the second half of season 1 was so bad. But I mean, the first half was good with Cottonmouth. Don't call me that.
Don't say that.
There was no downplaying. There was no short time, and there was no like, man, this is like there was every single moment I think of season 2 was good. And, you know, like I said, they had better villains, and I would say the Bushmaster was right on terms with, you know, Cottonmouth, but, you know, he stuck around the whole time, so he did disappear for a couple of episodes, but, you know, he came right back, so the Bushmaster was seen, you feel me now? So I was like, yeah, man, I like Bushmaster, man. Yeah, really what I liked was the storytelling aspect. It was, like, very comic booky. It was like arcs, like they had the Bushmaster saga. And once the Bushmaster went away, then we had Stokes come up, or Mariah Dillard. No, Mariah Stokes. Yeah, see Mariah Stokes. Yeah, so she came up and then she was the villain, and then that kind of like they kind of just went together, like that. Both of those stories just kind of converged together, and then that's like comic book 101, man.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that, man. They do a pretty good job. The music is still outstanding, and I didn't realize this, but the guy that shot the Notorious B.I.G. film, he's the guy that actually shoots. He saw season 1 and season 2. So he talked about his roots because he was a music video director. So he used to shoot a lot of videos and stuff, and he talked about how he got into the B.I.G. thing, and then he talked about how he incorporated the hip hop music into Luke Cage. And how it fits, you know, a lot of the scenes, man. It's really good, man. I have to get my hats off to those guys. They do a good job with, you know, melding the music with the scenes, because they seem like they just fit hand in hand on what's going on as far as the action and the music fitting it. And shout out to all the old school 90s guys, Ghostface Killer, you know, Rakim, BDP, KRS-One, man, killing it, man. You know what I'm saying? I love that. That was great. So I just wanted to interject on some of the other things that I liked about it and what I thought made it great. So now that we kind of got that out of the way, you know, want to move forward to what you didn't like.
No. We ain't. Hold on. Pump your brakes, sir. Pump your brakes. All right. First, we're gonna go over some significant moments. What were some key moments? My first thing was Claire. That was the very first thing that she left. Like, she was done with Luke Cage. You know, it got kind of violent between them. He punched a hole in the wall, and then she was like, "I'm out." And then we ain't see her no more. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, she's gonna be gone for a couple episodes because, you know, she was pretty big in Daredevil. She was pretty big in season 1 of Luke Cage, and then she was in the Defenders, and then she was just like, nah, I'm out. Season 2, like, I ain't about to do this, and I'm out. And okay, so once we got rid of Claire, the other thing that I appreciated more than anything, there was actually a reference to Cloak and Dagger, which is, man, that's the first time that we've seen like two different entities kind of reference each other. Like, we always see the movies, everything usually kind of stays the same. So the movies usually reference stuff on ABC, and then Netflix will reference other Netflix. And then, you know, I think maybe the Runaways said something about the stuff that was going on in the movies, but we never seen Netflix refer to a TV show. And this was the first time where Misty Knight was talking about some detectives that moved away, and she said, you know, O'Reilly's in New Orleans. And, you know, then on Cloak and Dagger, she was talking about how she was O'Reilly, the female cop. She was talking about how she used to live in Harlem, how she was a cop in Harlem. And she was telling, I guess, her boyfriend, she was like, yeah, I'm going to have to introduce you to one of my best friends. Her name is Misty. So she never said her name was Misty Knight, but, I mean, you can put the connection there. I mean, Misty was talking about her, and she was talking about working in Harlem. It's like, what other Harlem officer is named Misty? So
Misty, yeah. So, yeah, you can put 1 and 2 together on that.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, that happened in Cloak and Dagger. But we're going to talk about that later because... That to me was a surprise.
I didn't finish.
So another big standout was Bushmaster and Luke Cage teaming up. Bushmaster was upset that they was out there spoiling me good name, selling them drugs, pushing that weight. And he was like, nah, man. So he showed up to shut that whole operation down. And then, you know, another twist, you know, that was with Nandy, the female officer that came in that kind of replaced Misty. That was kind of a twist with her. Not a big story arc there, but it was just kind of cool to see, you know, Misty having some opposition, you know, with her. And then it seemed like she was on her side, and then she was like, oh, nah, I'm about to get this money. Tell you where Piranha was. I'm going to get to Piranha in a few minutes, man. I had some serious problems with Sambo.
You know,
I mean, Piranha Jones. I had some problems
you know
with Sambo. I keep saying Sambo. Man. I mean, Piranha. His name was Piranha, right? Piranha Jones? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you know, I can't say that. I can't stop laughing. But that was one of my favorite characters, man. I can't, man.
We ain't talking about characters right now. Right? We're talking about significant moments, all right? What was some of your significant moments? Besides the ending, that's the last thing I'm going to say. The ending, Luke Cage pretty much ended up as the mob boss. So, man. His old boy DW was like, yo, man, this is Switzerland, man. You got to get up out of here, man. Because, you know, you out here in the club thinking you're going to be watching over everybody. But what you don't know is that, you know, this life is going to consume you. And then next thing you know, you're going to be doing things that you shouldn't be doing as a hero. So, you got to get up out of here, bro. You can get your hair cut.
Conducting business.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to get cut. You're going to get your beard shaped, but it's about...
I don't know how he going to kick him out, man. He must have bought him out.
Yeah, he said it. He said he bought the shop. He was buying the shop. With all that money that he made, all the money that he had made from selling them T-shirts and stuff.
Off of Luke Cage. He done made money off
that's
my
hustle,
back, man.
Hey, that's truth right there, man. You know good and well if there was a Harlem superhero, there'd be somebody making some money off of him. Straight up, that's like...
Yeah, but I'm just saying you can't be talking about that because it's...
So that's where, you know, it's kind of getting into the black perspective, man, about, you know, how we do, man, how we operate, bro.
Well, it's okay. Anybody in that situation will operate. It would be regardless of the color.
Nah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
Hey, man, poor people gonna struggle. They gonna find a way, man. If they got everybody, just ain't got nothing. Got a little ingenuity in them. It really don't matter about the color, man.
It's Superman. Superman came up. There's not gonna be anybody on the side of the road selling Superman T-shirts. Come on, man. Out in the country.
You don't think we gonna be selling Superman t-shirts?
Huh?
We gonna be selling Superman t-shirts. We will be selling Superman t-shirts.
So it don't be matter where you from.
We sell like hotcakes, baby. Hey, get that Superman. Got that Superman.
Got that Superman, bro.
Superman.
That's how he was, man. I got that Luke Cage. I got that Luke Cage on DVD. Luke Cage versus the Bushmaster. Got that on. He had that joint on DVD, man. That fight was like 5 seconds.
All right, now my significant moments. Okay, I'm really gonna talk about one, and you forgot it, which I forgot it last time we did this.
Nah, I ain't forget it. I'm letting you go ahead and get it out of the way.
You gonna let me get this?
Yeah.
You gonna let me get this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shades of Comanche. That was wild. That was wild. E coyote. I didn't expect that, man. And they really, man. I guess they was kind of hitting at it like the whole time, and you really didn't get the whole thing until they was sitting inside the barbershop back to back.
Butt to butt. Back to back. They was sitting butt to butt.
And my man out here making his love confession, man. Like, and it was crazy though, because I mean they were in jail together, but what we didn't realize until after later on, when Comanche got smoked by Shades because he was snitching, that they actually had a bigger history than just being, gay for each other. They actually grew up together. Comanche's mom raised both of them, so they were childhood friends, best friends, and I guess best friends, lovers, in jail.
Yeah.
But so it was like it was a complex, I would say relationship between the two of them. Shades was ready to move on because he was free, and he was in the women again, and Comanche just like, nah, bro.
Yeah, he was in the women.
He ain't changed for me.
Yeah, he was in the women.
He ain't changed for me.
He was in the geriatric
Go ahead,
women.
man.
He was in the old women.
He liked them old. He liked them old.
Alfie Woodard, ain't nothing wrong with her, man. That was it. That was your only significant moment. What else you got, man?
Yeah, I didn't really have any more other than that. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yes, I did. I think you mentioned this before about Misty Knight's story arc.
Yeah.
About her getting, like, not having an arm, and it's such a big deal, and how she was distraught, man. She was just drinking and couldn't move on, and then they just gave her a magical arm, and all that just went away, man. It was like,
thank you. Yeah, that was gonna be my next thing where we're talking about the stuff that we didn't like. It's a good segue, man, because that was just terrible. Just like that, just fixed her problem all of a sudden. Like, she still doesn't have an arm. Like, even though she's got a prosthetic, like, she's still missing an arm, and she's just good with it. And, like, no one, like, and that was the thing. Everybody in her precinct was acting like a little kid. Like, you going to give me a hand with that? And it was just, like, saying these little corny jokes and stuff like that, man. It's like, so now that she has a robot arm, like, no one's going to talk about that? Like, there would be even more jokes like, oh, man, here comes RoboCop. Like, it would have been jokes like that. Like, they were just like, oh, she got a robot arm. I better leave her alone. Like, like, come on, man.
It just went to nothing, man. Like, I remember the funniest joke I heard was the one Hispanic guy, when he was like, what are you, the long arm of the law? I was like, oh, that was a good one.
Corny, man.
It was corny, but it was a good one.
That sounds like a dad joke, man.
Yeah, it was a dad joke.
You come up into the office with a fake looking robot arm glove looking thing. I'm roasting, man. You gonna get roasted. I'm gonna call you RoboCop. Yeah. I don't want a RoboCop.
Gadget.
When did you become a RoboCop? Yeah, you RoboCop.
Yeah, they could have got it with
$1 million man. That's what you are.
Yeah, could have got it with Inspector
Gadget arm. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, man. Inspector Gadget. Yeah. Inspector Gadget would have been the best one, man. But that was really the only thing that I didn't like. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there's one more thing I don't like to mention. I got these aha moments. Okay, so I really didn't like the story arc that they made with Mariah's daughter, Nightshade.
Yeah.
So there was one particular thing that just bothered me, and I think we talked about this before. It really didn't make any sense for her just to be a person that didn't want to be associated with them, didn't want to have a different life. She wanted to be a doctor, getting into all kinds of things positive, and then she ends up being the one that takes her mom out, which was just not who she was according to her character. The way they wrote her is like, that makes no sense at all. So now she wants to be a bad guy. She wants to be a bad guy now. She wants to run the club. You know, she wants to do everything that she hated. Like, this makes no sense. And maybe they will explain it. And maybe they'll explain it in the next season, because it's like, now I'm a bad guy. I'm going to be a bad guy. I'm going to be a thorn in this guy's side now. You know, from now on. It's just like, that didn't make sense. And maybe there was.
I don't know.
Maybe there was in between that.
I felt the same way, though, man. I was just like, so she was so much against her mother killing that now she's a killer. Like, she committed the ultimate by killing her mother. Like, everybody else her mother killed had no relation to her at all. And then she's just like, you know what? She's so bad, she has to be killed. She can't go to jail. So it's kind of like, you kind of understand what she's saying, but she was so far removed from that life. It's just like, she's black. She's definitely a killer. You just gotta, everybody's a killer. Just don't push me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got a little bit of Tupac in them. So, you know, this, I was like, come on, man. This girl is doing, like, healing herbs and stuff like that. Got her own shop on herbs and reading about all natural, like, healing and stuff. And then all of a sudden she's like, you know what? I need to learn about this poison too that I can put on my lips that won't kill me, but it will kill somebody else in a couple of hours after I give them a kiss. Like, how does she even know about that?
I would say that she should be very well educated on poisons and all the different little things with plants, because she had a PhD. She was a doctor, so I'll give her that. But you can't make me believe that she just did a 360-degree change on her ethics and what she believed in, her morals, that she wanted to be so far away from the Stokes. You can't make me believe that she would be that type of person. Like, she didn't even grow up with them. So she didn't even, like, you could tell me Mariah, the reason why Mariah was the way she is, she has like this generational, you know, just everything going wrong with her family. They all was gangsters. They all did wrong. And she grew up in that. You know, her. Yeah, she was around all the time. Cornell, same thing. Like, dude was a gifted musician. Could have been a great musician. But his mama or aunt weren't going to let him get into that life, man. You know, hey, Ninja, you better grab this gun. You're going to get out here and earn. You know, he was forced into that life, and that's, you know, he was a product of it, and he couldn't see any way out of it. So for her to be so far removed from that, should be adopted by loving parents that sends her to school, gets her educated, you know, have a great life, and then turn into a killer. It just don't register with me, you know what I'm saying? That just didn't make sense. But that was the only thing that bothered me the most about that whole series.
Okay, so two things that I didn't like. I didn't like them killing off Mariah, man. It's like, spoilers, by the way. I did not like them killing off Mariah, man, because it was just like when these villains get real good, they're like, oh, no, they got to go. Like, Cottonmouth, come on, man. He was like probably one of the top villains in the Netflix MCU, I would say. It's kind of hard to compare them to movies because the movies are so much overpowered than them, but I would say he's definitely behind, you know, Kingpin as far as villains, but he didn't get much screen time, and then, you know, he's just out of here. And then Mariah was just starting to get, man, she was getting to that level, man, and then
she's very interesting, man. And then and then the other thing I didn't like was the Iron Fist crossover. They could have just kept that, man. Like, it wasn't really necessary, man. It's just like, let's throw him in here real quick. I guess they're trying to weave him into Luke Cage a little bit more because they're going to have to, man. I think they're going to need each other, man. I'm going to say Iron Fist is going to need Luke Cage. Yeah, I think Luke Cage is going to be all right by himself, but Iron Fist, he might not get season 3, and he's just going to show up on Luke Cage's show, which, you know, I kind of like seeing, you know, Iron Fist and Colleen Wing. I kind of like them two together, seeing those. All four of them, Luke Cage and Misty Knight. So, see how that goes. And then that would be nice if they spin that to a Heroes of Hire or something like that. Yeah,
Heroes of Hire, Daughter of the Dragon, that type of thing. And then, of course, I just gotta get on my boy, man. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe this guy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Piranha Jones. You feel me? Hey, this dude right here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, check out my collection I got back here. You see my dude? You see I got that Black Panther, homie? Yeah, you see him? Yeah, I got Black Panther and Storm. Hey, you never know. You never know. Disney just bought Fox, so you never know. Hey, you know, you see them two in together in a film. You feel me? Like that. Oh man.
You gotta have comic relief, man. And he was comic relief, man. You can say he was comic relief. Yeah, man. It was funny, bro. You just
chicken watermelon. Like even when the situations are not even supposed to be funny, like this dude is running from his life. He's about to get killed. And eventually he does get killed. He gets his head chopped. And it's like, man, the whole time he probably got his head chopped. Like, hey, dog, don't be chopping my head now. I needs my head. Like, he was probably like that the whole time, man.
You can say what you want to say, man, but speaking on the culture part of it, you know that person exists. That person exists. So, okay, man, it's part of the world.
So, the guy that I knew, he would be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go down to the barber shop this weekend while y'all are in class. I'm gonna get my hair cut and I'm about to go to the club. You feel me? Hey, I'll see y'all next weekend.
Yeah, so keep it fair that, you know, it ain't as far stretch for having that person in there. And
it's not.
Representing some part of the culture, because I know it's not something we would like to admit exists, but it does.
Moving right along, who was your standout character for this season, season 2? Who was the standout character?
Oh, Mariah Stokes was my standout character, without a doubt. Yeah. Just her story arc, especially on the second half when she actually took over being the lead villain. Oh man, she was so far from what she was season 1, man. And she was gangster, man. Like that prison scene when she just seemed like she was so vulnerable. It's like she almost reminded me of season 1 of Kingpin, where you just wasn't sure the Kingpin was all the way there. Like you just felt like, man, this guy's so weak, you know. He's like he's bowing down. He's so unsure of himself. But then you saw the scene where he just takes a dude's head off with a car door. She was kind of like that, you know, busting her way out there with that shotgun, man. It's crazy, man. And she just stabbed old girl up with life. I'm like, hey, y'all work for me now. I'm like, whoa, man,
that was her family too.
Crazy. Yeah, chick crazy, man. She was all the way there, you know. And I think when she burnt that dude up. And Shades kind of took a step back like, yo, man, I created a monster. Like, she is all the way live. Like, she off the chain. I can't control her, man. So, yeah, I liked her. That was my character for the season 2, man.
Yo,
I did like Bushmaster, but...
Yeah, that was my standout character, was Bushmaster. And I did like Mariah, too. But, you know, we saw a lot of Mariah in season 1, so I liked Bushmaster. He didn't really have, like, that whole swag as a Cottonmouth, but, you know, he had enough in the fact that he could fight where Cottonmouth couldn't do anything against Luke Cage. It was kind of like the best of both. The best that we're going to get as far as, you know, fighting and, you know, just having that swag of being a gangster, you know what I'm saying? So... You know, I appreciated that as a villain, and then, you know, I like the parts where they were showing his backstory, and they were showing, you know, how he came up, and they showed him as a young fella. It wasn't as long as Cottonmouth's, but, you know, they showed him young. They showed what happened with his mother, and, you know, just the whole thing with him and Mariah coming up, and they knew each other coming up, so. You know, I like seeing that whole aspect, and then him coming back. And you're just trying to figure out who he is and what he wants, because it wasn't that clear at first. So, yeah, he was a good villain. And then they didn't kill him. So, we might see him again. We just don't know in what sense we'll see him. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know if the guy that played him, we don't know if he signed on for another season or not. But I hope he is, man, because he seemed like he was a good actor, man. All right, so let's go into season 3 predictions. What do you think is gonna happen in season 3?
Well, I'm gonna say we already know Luke Cage becomes the bad guy. He becomes the bad guy. That's where we're going. Mariah predicted it at the end of season 2 by giving him that club. She willed him the club because she knew that, hey, just some reason, everybody that has any involvement with this particular property in Harlem, it overtakes him. And as you see at the end, he starts turning into sort of a crime boss. You know, he's got some of the same people that was in her organization that's working for him. Sure. And you see that he kind of shoos Misty Knight away as she's kind of talking to him, and she's trying to tease him like, hey, man, you know, maybe I'm going to have to be, you know, coming to get you one day. And he's like, nah. But then, you know, he's having one of them private conversations like, hey, man, I'm going to need you to step out the room. Okay? You know, and then he sends his saving grace because, you know, old girl decides to come back, and he just like, send her home. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for Claire tonight. Ain't got time for that.
Time for Claire.
I think that's one of the things that hurt his character, him not having that person to keep him balanced. He was just, you know, kind of shifting, and you know, you see my man Bobby Fischer left because he had to give his daughter a kidney. So that kind of hurt him. He didn't have those positive guys. Pop's already gone. So he just had, you know, his girlfriend and Bobby Fish, and Bobby Fish had to leave. So it was kind of like he's out here making decisions on his own and nobody to bounce him off of with that he trusts.
Yeah, and
so he made a bad decision.
That's the other thing too. His dad. So, you know, first and foremost, rest in peace to the actor that played his dad, because the actor that played his dad passed away. So it's kind of like he might not actually have his father next season either. So that could play a part of, you know, he's not going to really have a moral voice outside of, you know, Misty Knight maybe kind of saying, hey, you know, you're starting to overstep that boundary.
Like I said,
but
it could be
that's
that.
where Boostmaster could come in, man. Boostmaster could say, look, Harlem is me right.
Okay, yes.
And you out here running the place wrong, Luke Cage. And then, hey. And see, that was kind of a story arc in 2010 with Daredevil. Daredevil had where he gained the control of the hand. And then he started abusing his power, and the Defenders had to come in and be like, hey, man, you need to chill out. So that could be the same thing happening with the Bushmaster.
Or it could be that's their way of putting those other characters in, like, hey, you know, some of the Defenders show up to try to talk Luke into, you know, chilling out. So, you know, it could be that. Maybe not all the Defenders, but, you know, half of the team. Anyway, so what's your thoughts on next season, man?
Yeah, we just said them, man.
We just said it, so we done?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Cage is probably gonna be the bad guy. I guess we can go over villains. Like, so, what villains do you think? There's a couple of Luke Cage villains left. So, who do you think?
You got a bunch of them, man.
Non-snake
I thought one
villains.
of them I said was non-snake villains. I thought I said one of them was Mac. What's that guy's name?
Yeah, Moses Magnum.
Moses Magnum is what I heard it was.
Mm-hmm.
Moses Magnum is one of them I heard. Yeah. That could possibly be the next.
He's got powers similar to Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Seismic can kind of make earthquakes, stuff like that. So, yeah, he hasn't fought any super villains, really. Luke Cage hasn't. I would say Bushmaster was the closest, but Bushmaster really didn't have. He had superhuman abilities, but he wasn't.
Yeah, they wasn't really super. I mean, it was like...
Yeah, because they would go away, so he would have to...
Yeah, he had to shoot back up again. Yeah. It's like taking dope.
Yep.
He was taking PEDs, man. That's what he was doing.
Man, that's some extreme PEDs. XPEDs or something. I'm thinking it's either going to be Moses Magnum or Chemistro. So he has a transmute gun. Yeah, but he would have to be teamed up with somebody else, I think. He just running around shooting light poles and turning them into hamburgers. I don't know.
Well, you know, that's perfect. I'm going to tell you how that'll work. Because it could be her daughter, Mariah's daughter, Nightshade, that may have a relationship with this guy because they both in science and they could team up. So, yeah, that may work. That'd be different to see, you know, versus someone straight up fighting because, you know, then this guy's got this gun and how do you deal with that? You know, it'd be interesting. That'd be interesting, man.
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much does it. I think we're pretty much wrapping up season 2 of Luke Cage. Looking forward for season 3. And we are the Bleeks. Yeah. CapnVillainBLK.
Angry Black Man.
Yeah. And you just got your outlook bleaked. And we'll see you next time.
You just got the bleak out.
What? Let's get out of here, all right? All right, man. I'll at you.
Peace. All right, man. Peace.